Doug Hasty here, Down to Earth Golf. This video we're going to go over alignment mainly, and we're also going to go over posture. In alignment, we're going to go over basic alignment, but don't worry too much about getting specific about it or getting like you have to be exactly lined up. Because actually, when you look at good players, you might see different lineups, you might see different things. So I'm going to show you the basics of alignment, but I don't want you to get really like out of your mind about it or OCD about it. Don't do that, okay? Just don't do it. So you can see a couple alignment sticks down the ground. The green one, the one to the right, is pointing at a green flag out there that you might be able to see, you might not, that's okay. So that's a line from the ball to my target, usually referred to as your target line. The white one down here, there, that one is more on my body lines, and some people refer to it as train tracks. You've got the one train track going at your target, and the other train track would be your body lines. So don't get OCD about it, okay? But basically, in my stance, all my body lines, my toes, my knees, my hips, my shoulders, are going to be parallel to my target line. So this white stick here, this white alignment stick, is parallel to my target line. And all my body lines are going to be the same thing. Okay? So that's pretty easy, right? The club face, these lines in the club face, are going to be 90 degrees to my target line. So I put that club down. When those lines in the club are 90 degrees to my target line, that's called square. We want the club face to be pretty square when I line up. So pretty easy, right? Club face square, body lines parallel. Okay. Let's talk about posture for a second. And then actually we'll talk about ball position. So posture. We want to be in athletic posture. I want you to be able to move. I want you to be able to balance. And I want you to be able to turn your shoulders. It's really important. So when I stand here, my spine is what I call a neutral position. Okay? It's got curves to it, but it's in a neutral position. I'm going to take that neutral position and I'm going to tip over from my hips. You notice when I do that, obviously my butt sticks out a little bit. We want to do that, okay? My knees are going to remain flexed, and we call that a hip hinge. So I'm going to hinge at the hips, let my arms hang down naturally, and that's basically what we're going to do, okay? So again, keep that back neutral. Try not to get too much rounded here. Try not to get rounded in the top. That's pretty common. Try to take that neutral spine, tilt it over from your hips, let your arms hang down. Some people would say that this angle, my spine, is going to be about 45 degrees, somewhere between 45 and 60, somewhere in there. You'll see some players stand a little taller. The main thing is, does it give you balance, and are you able to turn? Are you, from that posture, you're back in a nice neutral position where you're able to turn really easily and not put stress on that back. So that's basics of that. Let's look from in front. All right, so we have alignments from behind the ball. And then we have alignments from the front position, where I'm showing you now. And this ball position, where the ball is in my feet, that's what we call ball position. Usually we call moving it closer to my back foot or my right foot, moving it back in your stance, and moving it forward towards your left foot if you're a right-handed golfer, moving it forward in your stance. So my stance usually is a little different for different clubs. So I've got a pitching wedge here. Pitching wedge, my stance is going to be pretty narrow, maybe just shoulder width, okay? And this stick here is my ball position. It's 90 degrees to my body lines. And for me, for the ball position, you can see it's about a club head and a half inside my front heel. Now I tend to turn my front foot out for balance reasons. We'll get into that later when I turn and face the target. But I always measure from my heel, and it's about a club head and a half inside that heel. Now what I really want to understand is for every iron shot, just talking irons now, for every iron shot, that ball position is going to be the same relative to my front foot. So if you're a right-handed golfer, relative to your left foot, if you're a left-handed golfer, relative to your right foot. It's always going to be the same. What happens is, we've got a pitching wedge, my stance is a little narrower. We've got a 7-iron. I'm going to widen my stance out just a little bit for balance. You can see that ball position remain the same to this foot. And even if I move to a 4-iron, make it a little wider with my stance. So it looks like the ball's moved it has moved into relation to the center of my stance, but has not moved in relationship to my front foot. Really easy. Keep that ball position really steady. Keep it the same for all your iron shots. And believe it or not, it's only going to move a little bit for your hybrids or fairway woods and a little bit more for your driver. Not very much at all. If you're just starting the game, keep that ball position steady for almost all your clubs. Okay? So, you can change the width of your stance for different irons. Usually the longer the iron, the wider the stance. But keep that ball position the same relative to your front foot. And again, you can experiment with it a little bit. Maybe a club head inside the front heel works for you better. Maybe 2 club heads inside the front heel works for you better. But keep it the same. Okay? I'll show you what my finished setup looks like here for a 7-iron. So I put my grip on here. Take my good posture. Boom. There's my setup for a 7-iron. Maybe I should mention this. When I set up, my hands are basically going to be just inside my front thigh. Okay? Which for a 7-iron you can see here, and for all my irons, gives this shaft a little bit of a lean that way. This would be a straight up and down shaft. This would be a negative lean, positive lean, my terms. I want a little bit of positive lean to that shaft when I set up with an iron. Okay? So try not to do this. Try to go a little bit like that and make sure that club face is square. Okay, now that we've seen the front view, let's talk about how we do this. So what I'd recommend, if you go back to the grip video, put your grip on, hold that club up in front of you, okay? Stand behind the ball where you can line up, picture a line to that target. We'll talk about spot aligning in a different target in a different video, but get a line to that target, okay? Walk in, try to get used to putting the club face down first. So you can put that club face down square to that target line. And then I'm going to set up my body parallel to my target line. Make sure my ball position is good. Get comfortable. Try not to get really stiff over it. Try to get comfortable. And then you're ready to hit a shot. Try to get a little routine going to get set up, and you'll find it a lot easier. All right, good golfing.